Tomorrow's technology today, securely wired to the cloud. Welcome to our Microsoft 365 training series. As a gold certified Microsoft partner, we will walk you through the latest updates, tips, and tricks for Microsoft products.
Go ahead and get started today. Today we are in our Microsoft 365 training series, Microsoft Forms and Bookings, 2 great tools to streamline your daily tasks. Joining us today to host this training is Katie Kramer. Katie is our training and project specialist for TTechT, and she's been in this field for more than 15 years and working hard here lately at becoming our everything Microsoft 365 guru. So with that being said, I will turn this over to Katie Kramer.
Thank you so much, Amy. And yes, Bookings and Forms are 2 of my favorite apps that I didn't know were included in the Microsoft 365 subscription. So I just want to take a minute and just go out and show you guys how to get to all the apps that you guys have access to when you have the 365 subscription. And you do need to have business to be able to see all of these. But if you go out to office.com, or you can go to portal.office.com, sign in with your Microsoft account. And that's going to bring you to this screen. If you don't see this right away, just click on the little waffle, and then you can always click on all apps. But that's going to give you a full list of all the different apps that you have. And we're trying to make it kind of just go through what the apps are, when to use them, how to use them, those kinds of things. And then going into the 4th quarter of the year, we want to focus a little bit more on personalizing kind of how you use the different apps. So kind of what things mean and the different features that are available within them. So keep an eye on our webpage because we are going to be updating the schedule here in a couple weeks. So just want to point out, this is where you can get to bookings, and we are actually going to start with forms today. So I already have my forms pulled up. So it is called Microsoft Forms, but you can also create quizzes from it. So let's just take a look at the quiz real quick. So if you want to, let's say that you are an educator and you want to be able to just put a quiz together and kind of be able to see like if everyone's understanding the material that you're presenting, kind of what you can do differently. You can go in and you can create a nice little quiz. Real easy to do. Give it a title, add new. That's just going to give you all the different options of what kind of questions you want to ask. And then as responses are submitted, you'll get an email letting you know that you have responses, or you can also go into your Microsoft Forms and pull up your responses here. And here you're able to see how many responses you have, the average time it takes to complete, and then if your form or your quiz is still active. So, and then you can also, of course, click the 3 little dots, and if you want to do a summary link, if you need to share it with someone else, maybe that you're teaching with, you can do that from here, and it's just going to create that little share link. You can pop that in an email or in Microsoft Teams and be able to share that with other people. So you are also able to open your results in Excel. So just click on the Open Excel, and from there you can manipulate whatever data that you have available to you and all those different responses to your quiz. So let's go back. So that's kind of it, just so that you know that the quiz option is available. Now I want to get a little more into building a form. So the first thing that I'm going to do is click on New Form. And this looks exactly the same as a quiz, so just keep an eye on Untitled Quiz versus Untitled Form. So let's say we want to give it a name. Let's say Customer Satisfaction Survey. If you want to enter a description for your form, you can. If you have a couple different flavors of maybe kind of the same thing, just add the description in there, then that way everybody knows what it's used for. So you might see this little lightning bolt. That's going to be your question suggestion. So let's click on that and just see what it says. So here are just saying from a past form that I created for a customer satisfaction survey. I'm sure I've already done a webinar or a video on this. It'll say, just give you a few ideas of different questions that you can ask. So we can do that. If I want to add a new one and maybe give them a multiple choice question, how would you rate our technical support. If you want to, you can also insert different media. So if I click on that button, here I have the option if I want to do an image or do a video to kind of talk a little bit more about that question, or if I need to explain something or something of that nature, that's where you would go for that. That's going to bring up the same file explorer box that you're used to seeing, where you have your option of choosing if you want the image or the video to come from your PC, OneDrive, or SharePoint. So from here, you can say too, if you want it to be a long answer, that just means it gives them a couple lines that they can write out their response. If you want to make it required or not, that's up to you. And then here you also have the option for doing the subtitle and your restrictions, and if you kind of want to branch out that question a little bit. So here you can see too, if I edit this, and if I just want to change that to rating, here you can see if they want, they can give us 5 stars and say that they are very satisfied with our service. So hopefully that's what they're saying. If you want to, as you go through and you're building your questions, if you want, you can copy the question and then you can just go back in and you can edit it and kind of tweak it to whatever you want it to be. If you decide you don't need that question anymore, you can just delete it from here. If you want to move it up or down as you kind of build out, you know, if you want a 10-question survey, just use these little arrows and that's going to bump it up and down within the order that you see the questions. So, and again, this looks exactly the same as the quiz, that you can go into responses, and here you can see how many responses you have, the average time to complete, and if this form is still active. And again, if you want, you can go in and open in Excel. So once you get all your questions in, you can hit this little preview button, and up at the top, you'll see that you have the option, you can do what it looks like on a computer versus what it looks like on mobile. So that's the mobile view. Looks just like it would on your phone if you were to pull it up. And you also have the option, you can get to forms from your phone too if you want. And then we'll go back. Any questions so far, Amy?
Sorry, I had myself muted. None yet, but I want to ask a question. So if you, let's say when you change the form or change something with it, can you resend it?
You can, yes. So we will get into that in just a second.
Okay. Perfect.
So I also wanted to talk about the theme. So if you want, you can do any of these pre-populated themes. You can also go down here to the little plus button. If you want to customize your theme, click on that. And here you can say, if you want to maybe upload your logo, you can do that, or a picture of yourself, or a picture of whatever the topic might be. You can do that from here. Or if you just want to customize the color, maybe you have certain company colors that you want to use, you can do that as well. So choosing how to collect responses. So if you click on the send button, you can drop it down and you can say who you want to be able to respond to your form. So of course, Microsoft is very good about protecting your privacy and not sharing things out all over the world. So just because you can get to forms from the web browser does not mean that people are going to be able to go out and, let's say that they look for Tomorrow's Technology Today customer satisfaction survey in a Google search, it's not going to pull this up. Like, that doesn't happen. So this is internal to you guys. So only you have access to it. And then if you start to say that anyone can respond, that's when people outside of your organization, they have to have the link, and that helps keep you secure. So we'll just leave it like that. From here, you have the option if you want to copy the link as is. It's, I don't know, it's kind of long and random. Or you can also just hit the shorten URL button. So here you have the option if you want to send a link. If you want to email it, you can do that, and it'll automatically paste the link in. You can do a QR code. So that's really nice. So here, if I hold my phone over the QR code, it's going to bring me directly to this form, which is really nice. It's a nice, easy way to get your form out there so people can get to it. So you also have the option to download it. So maybe you want to add it to a newsletter or something like that, you can do that too. Or if you want to embed it, maybe in your website, something like that, you can do that as well. So share to collaborate. So if we click on this, this is just to invite other people to maybe ask other questions that they have, you know, like I do, like our training and a lot of our project management. If I want Amy to hop on there and what would she like to know about the marketing side for customer satisfaction, she can get in there and she's able to edit this document as well. So you click on that and then I can just hit copy and share it with her. You can also, if you want to share this as a template, so again, especially if we're doing something as like kind of general as a customer satisfaction survey, maybe I want to have my own for training and projects, and then Amy wants to have her own, but we kind of want the same flavor since we actually work for the same company. You can also just share it out as a template. So here you would just go to get the link, copy it. Again, I can drop it in an email or a Teams message over to Amy, and she is able to edit it from there. So the settings. So this is where you would go if, depending how you want people to respond. This is, again, this is kind of back to the security. Sorry, I didn't say that right. So this is where you can go depending how you want people to be able to respond and if they have access to it. So again, if it's someone outside of your organization, you want to do anyone can respond. Or if it's only people inside of your organization, if you want to make sure that you catch your name, if you don't have their name included on the survey and you want to know who it is, it'll go back and tie it to their Microsoft account. And you can also limit it to one response per person. So if anyone's got anything negative to say about your company, you don't have to hear it 12 times. Like they can just put it in one message and send it to you. And here you have the options for responses. So you can set a start date and an end date. If you want to shuffle the questions around, maybe you want to use the same customer satisfaction survey, but you don't want to mess with trying to do 20 questions and try and reorganize them. You can go through and hit the shuffle questions button, and that'll kind of help you reorganize your questions a little easier. You can also send a custom thank you message for completing your survey. So in here you can say your response was submitted if you want something just general like that, or if you want something a little bit more, you also have option to edit it in here. There is no save button. As you can see up here at the top, it automatically saves in true Microsoft 365 fashion. Let's see. Also, if you want to get a receipt letting you know that you or get notified of each response, you can turn that on down here at the bottom. Let's see. So if you want to print it, you can do that from here. Let's see. Amy, your question about being able to update the form, I think you have to resend it for them to be able to see the new questions.
Perfect.
All right, any questions on forms?
No, I was just actually going to say that's really nice because I need to get some updated information from our employees for my social media postings, and that will be nice because I can use a form that I've used before and then just update and get responses.
Yep, yeah, you can always copy it, and then that way you have your original of what you asked and then whatever updates that you made.
Perfect.
Very good. So now we are going to go over to Microsoft Bookings. So Bookings is basically a way that, let's say that your customers or potential customers can schedule time with you or maybe book one of your services. So this is really handy, and really anybody can use it, but let's say that you own a hair salon or I don't know, like a pet care company or something like that, and you want to go through and add all your different services. I know we have this available that people can schedule time with Lisa, myself, Amy, and Bonnie. So depending who you want to have, and we'll take a look at ours in just a minute so you guys can kind of see how it looks when it's all set up. But let's just walk through doing a new booking. Sorry, a new bookings calendar. So I want to create from scratch. And let's just say this is a webinar demo. If I want, I can add our logo in here as well. If I want to say what kind of business we have, then I'm going to click Create Calendar. And then if I want to add in all the different services we have, so we have support, let's do IT project management. Amy, what would you like your service to be called?
You can just call it marketing if you want. It's pretty boring, but you can just make it marketing. I'll have to come up with something fancy.
We'll call it marketing. Do you want it to be an online appointment?
Sure.
Okay. And so you can see here, this is the little Teams logo. So the way that this works is it will create the actual Outlook invitation, but it will also have Teams integrated to it. So when you go to actually join the meeting, you are joining via Microsoft Teams. If you don't have Teams installed, it'll still connect you via web browser. But the nice part too is I want to make sure that people understand that right now, Microsoft has it available that you can add a phone number to call in. So if people just don't have access to a computer, but you're scheduling services and it's really just something that they come to your office or shop or whatever you have, your store, or if it just needs to be a phone call, you can use Teams. And right now it's available. There's an audio conferencing license. It's available for free from Microsoft that you can add it to your business license. So I just want to point that out. And then that way it's got the phone number on there too. So it'll have the link to join, or you can also just call in via the phone number. We'll put Amy Spriggs in here, and I'll put myself in here. Oh, sorry, I didn't save my. And from here too, you can also set whatever duration you want your standard appointment times to be depending on the service. So I think I'm just leaving all of ours for 30 minutes, and it can be anytime, 9 to 5. I'm going to put Amy in this one too. All right, so here are all of our different services. So you can go through, you can set all that up, put in your services, put in the times, dates, all that good stuff. Click continue. So from here, you can see we can either keep it private so that only from the bookings app, or you can do people in your organization. And this will be on a self-service page. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit, all the different ways that you can publish this page. Or you can make it so anyone can book time via a public service page, such as your website. This is a great way to tie it into your website. You can also, Amy and I were just talking about this morning. So you know how a lot of people are adding to their signatures in email, and you're able to put in, like, if you have webinars or if you have any kind of special message that you want to send out to all of your users, that you can just add it to your signature. Same is true for bookings. So I know, like for me and Amy, we have it set up that we have our bookings logo on our email. Oops, sorry, missed it. I closed the wrong one. So here you can see, Amy, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so here you can see the click here to schedule a virtual meeting with Katie. So that's our bookings link. So if I click on that, that's going to take us out to the TTEC-T bookings page that we have available already. So this is what it's going to look like when you're all done building everything out, when you're done adding your services, adding your staff, adding the times that people are available. So, and ours is kind of limited because we did it by person. If we would do like something for support, we could list out like each technician. Then that way people could select, you know, if they have a certain technician that they've been working with on a problem, they're able to select that person. So if I just click on mine, here I can see I can grab September 2nd for tomorrow, and then here's all the different times that I am available, and here you can see it's just for me. Down here at the bottom then, this is what your customer's going to see. So they are able to give you their name, their email, their address, and then their phone number, and then just drop in any notes that you may have. So the nice part too is if you want, you could use this with Power Automate. So if you want, you could do something with a form and build out your Power Automate. And I know too, Rafe touched on that last week and building that out. So if that's something that you're interested in, and then you take that ticket number that you submit through Power Automate and you plug it in for your bookings, and then you schedule that time, that kind of helps people get your service set up. And then just click on book. I'm going to receive a notification that someone booked time with me, as well as the person who scheduled time is going to go back and use that email address. And I'm going to make it so anyone can schedule time with us. So we'll give it a minute just to get set up. So here you can see that it's ready to go as is, just by filling out the little wizard. So if you want, you can click on this and that'll take you directly to the bookings page. You also have the option if you want to hit the share button. Here you can add it to different social media, or you can also just copy the link, and any place that you want to drop it, you can do that from here. So if I click on copy, it's just going to grab that URL up at the top. So I'm going to click on get started. So from here, down here on the left-hand side, you can see the different services that we have. So if I click on managed services, here I can go through, I can add a new service if I need to. I can go through, I can edit it. So I can say like who I want to have available for scheduling that service through bookings, any availability that they have, and it does sync up with Outlook calendars. So if that person has time scheduled off, or let's say that you have holidays or something like that, like you don't have to worry about updating your bookings separately. It all ties back to whatever you have entered in Outlook. If you want to do any custom fields, depending on what kind of information you want to gather, down at the bottom where you saw that people were putting their name, address, phone number, and the notes, you can add in whatever options that you want to. Or you can take them off, whatever you want to do. So I'm going, whoop. There's also the option for reminders and notifications. So whatever you want to set up here, you can do that too. Any special messages, any kind of formatting, you can change that here. You can also add an email reminder. If you have people that maybe they're scheduling a ways out, you know, you want to make sure that they remember it. You can also set up that email reminder. And here you can tell it, you know, if it needs to just be like right before, or if you want to do it a day ahead of time, it's just going to send them an email and just say, hey, just a reminder that your appointment is coming up. Are there any questions so far?
No, looks good. Okay. And I got my notifications that you added me. They came right up, so.
Perfect. And Amy, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit too. So I mentioned about adding the bookings link to people's signatures, and how we were talking this morning about if you get adding too many lines to your signature that you start to get flagged, and, you know, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So we could do a whole hour on email deliverability, but I will say that email deliverability has gotten, it's gotten much more difficult to get your emails through, especially if you're sending an email out, if it's a marketing email of any kind, or even just an email that might go to a larger audience or to more people, or even if it's just one-off, sometimes it can be the same. If you have too many links in your email, that can flag you. If you have too much what sounds like spammy talk, too many exclamation points, too many all caps, things like that can get you flagged and can get those kind of not even delivered. So if you want to add your booking link, I highly encourage that. I actually encourage, so most people put their social media links in there, but I would say most of us don't ever click a social media link out of an email. Chances are you may get it from a website, or you'll get it directly from a person, or you'll look them up yourself. So I would encourage you actually to remove those, the social media links, and then go ahead and use things that are going to be much more useful, like that booking link, things like that. You don't want to have too many images or pictures. 1 or 2 is fine. Like the image of the booking link and her image, that's fine. We just don't want to go above that or beyond that, or make it too crazy, or start adding a bunch of videos and things like that. So you still want to keep it fairly simple for all this AI, all this artificial intelligence that's out there kind of sweeping to make sure, is this spam, is this junk, is it good, is it bad? Because you will get flagged as spam if you have too much in it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
All right, I'm trying to think. Oh, same thing. So if you want to set up a theme for your bookings page, you can do that too. So pretty much anything that you want to do, you can go through and you can select just kind of what colors you want it to be, or any kind of pictures. Again, if you have some kind of pet daycare or something like that, you can do the cats page. Just something to kind of have some fun with. So let's see. I think that's probably about it. So, I can show the calendar view. So here you can see kind of what the availability is, or if I need to go in and just add time off. If I know that I'm going to be off and maybe I don't have my Outlook calendar up to date, I can just do that from here. You can also look through, if you're the owner and you want to be able to see like all the different by day, by week, by month, whatever makes sense for you, you can see all the different bookings that are out there. So, and this one only shows me because of the service that I'm on. So, all right, well, I think that is everything for bookings. So unless anyone has any questions.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Good deal. So I do want to mention too, on September 15th at 1 o'clock, I am super excited to talk about Microsoft Viva. So this is something that's been in the works for a little bit, and something very, very new from Microsoft. Not all the pieces and parts are out yet, but we are starting to use it, and we want to get it in our clients' hands too, and let them start to use it too. So we hope that you will join us for Viva, and we look forward to talking to you then.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for viewing this episode in our series. To learn more about our next presentation, visit www.tomtechtoday.com/training webinar. We look forward to seeing you there.